You are listening to How to Get Over Your Ex, episode number 273, How to Stop Comparing Your New Partner to Your Ex in 2 Simple Steps. Welcome to How to Get Over Your Ex, a podcast on getting over your ex without it just taking time. I'm your host, breakup coach Dorothy. Let's turn your pain into power and your heartbreak into happy. Hello, beautiful brave hearts. How are you doing today? I got a request on Instagram to record an episode on what to do when you find yourself comparing your new partner and your relationship to your ex. And I thought, you know what? This is a great idea. Let's talk about it. I think as we dive in, I want to address the very first thing. We need to address this immediately. Why do we compare our new relationship to our ex? Because I think what happens is many people jump to the conclusion that this only happens because we aren't over our ex, which I don't think is necessarily true. Absolutely, that could be one of the reasons. But sometimes we find ourselves comparing our new relationship to our ex because 1, comparison is absolutely a normal part of human behavior, but 2, typically I find that people who have done the work to be over their ex, like they have zero desire for, zero attachment to their ex, but then still find themselves comparing, it's normally because something in their bigger and better life isn't bigger and better, or there's something missing or just not right about the life that they're living in. Maybe they got into a spat with their new partner. Maybe their new partner did something that they don't find attractive. And then all of a sudden you see an increase in desire and attachment. You start thinking about your ex and you start comparing. And that doesn't mean you're not over that person. It just means we need to check in, like, what's going on with your bigger and better life that is causing this influx. It's almost like if there is, a disgruntlement or perhaps something lackluster about your current relationship, or something has been difficult in your current relationship, or even just in your bigger and better life. The easiest thing for your brain to do is to go back to that old familiar, comfortable chew toy of the ex instead of solving a new problem, which is the spat with your new partner. Right? The brain would rather chew on the old toy. It can access pretty easily, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Here we are thinking about our ex instead of resolving the thing that feels lackluster in our current experience, right? So instead of communicating about the lackluster experience in the relationship, or working on mending that, or creating a better, more passionate experience with your new partner, the brain thinks it's easier to go back to the ex and chew on the ex problem. Because, my friends, the brain is a simple tool. It is a very simple organ in the body. It wants to conserve energy and avoid pain. So if there's a new problem it can solve, or an old problem it can chew on, it's going to go for the old comfortable problem to chew on, rather than solving a new one and connecting new neural pathways. It reminds me of a school project, and honestly of work projects. Like, the mundane tasks are so much easier to get done and do, but then opening up a blank document and starting from scratch about something you know nothing about, so much more difficult, and you'll find yourself procrastinating and then ruminating about problems, or redoing decisions that you've already done, or solving problems you've already solved, right? So when you find this happening, when you find yourself comparing your new partner to your ex, thinking about your new partner when you're in a new relationship, I want you to do the following. The first step is, do not, for any reason, immediately make this mean you're not over your ex. Don't be mean to yourself. Nothing has gone wrong. This is your brain doing a basic brain function, and that's okay. If your desire for and your attachment to your ex has spiked, but it was down, consider that the desire for and the attachment to your ex has spiked because of how you're thinking about your current relationship and your past one. Okay. You can do desire and attachment reducing exercises that I've taught you here on the podcast and are in the Get Over Your Ex course, or you can simply set that to the side and move to step 2. And trust me, we'll come back to step 1. Okay. But don't make it mean you're not over your ex. Then step 2 is take a look at your current relationship. Which boat are you in? There are like 3 main camps you could be in. Number 1, you're in a great relationship. It's full of passion. You're loving it. It's great, but you're self-sabotaging by comparing to your ex. Number 2 is the relationship is lackluster and there's something missing that you're wanting more of, which is then resulting in comparing to your ex. Or boat number 3, you're not getting along, or you just had a fight and things are very much not good with your current partner, which is then leading you to compare to your ex. So get clear about what category you're in. And I want to talk about each category. So if you're great in your relationship, but you find yourself still comparing, I'd look at what part of myself believes I don't deserve this. What part of me is believing it can't be this good? What am I afraid of happening if I allow myself to feel good and dive all into this and let myself experience the deep level of love here? Be kind to yourself and know it's okay to let yourself go there. You're okay. It's okay. And yes, it's real and it's safe. And I know it can be worrisome after such a hard rock bottom breakup or divorce, but you deserve love. You deserve good things, and you deserve for things to be easeful. The second category, if you're in the lackluster space, I want you to ask yourself, is this something I want to work on? Or is this something I'd rather find another partner for? Because just because we can work on parts of our relationship doesn't mean we have to or that we want to. I personally am naturally attracted to my husband. I think he's so attractive. But there are other things that we've invested in working on, like communication and intimate conversation. That stuff didn't just come as naturally, but I also didn't jump ship to find a new partner who was naturally good at that. But for others, I've seen the opposite, where conversation comes easily and naturally. However, they're not naturally attracted to them. And so they either choose to stay or to go. And you've got to get clear for you. Is this something I need to talk to my partner about? Is this something I want to own alone and explore for a while? Redirect the thinking about and the comparison with your ex to what is it that you want on your want list, and then focus that attention on creating and cultivating that in the current partnership, or deciding if perhaps this isn't the relationship for you, right? You could be comparing to your ex because you're avoiding the realization that the current partner isn't who you want to be with. That doesn't mean you're not over the ex. It just means, this current partner is not who I want to be with, and I have to face the emotions and the reality of that situation. Lastly, if you're in a spat with your current partner, clean that SHIT up. Communicate. Use the feedback wheel that I teach in the episode all about the number 1 tool to save your relationship, because cleaning this up first will help you get even more clear about what's behind the comparison with your ex. And it will either make you clearer or closer in your current relationship, meaning you'll build intimacy and connection through working through something together, or you'll be clearer that perhaps this relationship isn't for you, not because your ex is, but because the specific partnership that you're currently in is not what you're looking for overall. So ultimately, no matter what category you're in, you want to be careful about making sure not to compare to your ex, but rather redirect to comparing to your ideal partner. Your ex was not your ideal partner. Even if they had everything you ever wanted, they chose not to stay. So therefore, they aren't the one you want to compare to. You've got to be clear about what is my ideal, including someone who wants to be with me, and then you can use that to compare to if it feels right for you. But you've got to clean up your side of the street. Am I living the bigger and better life? Look at the current problems or situations in your life that may be leading to comparing, and solve for those instead of reaching out to that, familiar chew toy. All right. So remember, if you find yourself comparing your new partnership to your ex, there are 2 simple steps. 1, don't automatically make it mean you're not over your ex. Be kind to yourself, clean up your situation with step 2, and then decide, is there more work I need to do around being over my ex? And then number 2 is figure out what category you're in. Am I sabotaging a good thing? Am I not addressing something that is lackluster in my current relationship? Or am I letting a current spat with my partner spiral out of control? And then take action to resolve that category you're in rather than spending your time comparing to your ex. So good. All right, my brave hearts, I love you so much. You've got this. I hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you next time.
If you're loving the How to Get Over Your Ex podcast and you want to learn how to get over your ex in 3 months or less to build a life better than the one you thought you had with your ex, I would like to personally invite you to my next group course where we take everything you've learned here on the podcast and apply it to your life. Come check it out at www.lifecoachdorothy.com.